Okay, this is how you are going to really stand out on social media in this world of artificial intelligence. So let's break down this concept. So, right now, there's so much fakeness on social media. Everybody's or most people's posts are written with artificial intelligence, photos are AI. It is just very out of balance on social media, and I don't know about you, but it feels very unbearable to even be on. So, I want to say this as the first thing. How you currently feel about social media is probably how your buyers feel about social media. That's why I'm bringing myself more onto YouTube. I don't think people who watch my content want to be on Instagram that much anymore because I know that they feel the artificialness. But you may still use those social media platforms as ways to grow and be seen and be visible and get your message across. But whatever platform you're using, whether it is YouTube, whether it is a podcast on Spotify or Apple, is it on Apple Music? I don't exactly know how podcasts work on Apple or what it's like. Is it? I think it's just on podcasts. It wouldn't be on Apple Music. Or if you're using Instagram, TikTok, whatever social media you're using. How you're going to stand out when everything is artificial is you are going to be even more authentic. You need to be comfortable with who you authentically are, and you don't want to hide that. Here's the thing. The more artificial and fake social media gets, the more people are going to crave humanness, the more that they want the humanity, the more that they want you to show up. Maybe even if you're like, don't feel like you look your best that day, or you're feeling insecure and showing up while you feel insecure, that's going to be a whole other video. I actually have a whole quantum healing on insecurity as well to help you. But focusing more on showing up and authenticity. As more and more artificial things are introduced on social media, people are basically gripping at their last little bit of capacity to find people who remain authentic and true. This is why I think the rise of influencers has captured so many people's attention, is because people like to see humans being humans. People like to see people getting ready. People like to see the behind the scenes of a travel day. People like to see the authenticity. But for you, you need to take this to almost the next level, because you don't want that fake sense of authenticity, the fake sense of humanity that most people are putting out there. People want to see the real you. They want to be able to feel your personality. They want to be able to know who you are. And I believe in the next 2 years, when it comes to selling on social media, as a conscious creator, as a spiritual business owner, or a conscious business owner, I believe that it actually is showing your humanness and showing your personality that is going to be the difference between selling and not selling. People are going to sell regardless. I think that is the nature of business. It doesn't matter how ethical or authentic or vulnerable you are. But if your main priority in business is actually selling to people who respect you, who honor you, and who you honor back, then the more authentic you are, the more that people see you, the better. And that doesn't mean revealing your life story. But what it does mean is it doesn't look like you being this perfectly poised educational type of content. It doesn't look like you just giving facts and sharing about whatever you're offering. It looks like inviting people into what your life is like. So for me right now, I am just hanging out at this resort. This is my view. There's a river back there. I'm not going to reveal where I am, but it's really nice here. I have my little coffee. I love this shirt that I just bought. I'm not like this big fashion person, but I found this outfit and the matching pants, and I was obsessed with them, and I was like, I need to buy them. And I think that the more you let people into behind the screen, people are going to realize that's a real human. It's a real human with a vision, with a mission. And I think that social media has almost dumbed us down to forgetting that the person behind the screen is real. And I'm going to be open and honest. This is a whole different video, but we're going to talk about it right now anyway. And this is specific for spiritual business, and I really don't want to use the term spiritual business, but I understand that I need to for like marketing purposes and for you to be able to identify yourself within that. Prefer the term conscious business over spiritual business, because I feel like spiritual like latches onto new age, and I'm not necessarily talking about new age businesses. I'm talking about individuals who are consciously awake and running vision-led, mission-based businesses with their full heart in it for the greater good of evolution and humanity, to raise consciousness. Conscious creation. Conscious business. Totally lost my entire thing there. Oh, there we go. I feel like it's a different video. Okay, wait. I'm gonna record a whole different video on, I think, the roboticness behind spiritual business and how people forget a lot of spiritual business owners are real people. I think that's a topic in itself. So if you do want that video, it will be out at some point when I do make it. Maybe I'll make it today. I'll make sure to like put it in the description box, or I'll figure out how to like, when you put the little video at the end, I'll figure that out for you so then I can add it there, because that is a really important topic. But let's focus back to standing out. I really want you to show more behind the scenes of what it actually looks like to be doing the work that you're doing, and I want you to be real authentic, and I want you to be real genuine about it. And I mean real authentic and real genuine about it. And for some people in business, this can be hard, because maybe sometimes the real, raw, authentic vulnerability is frustration. And let me share you a story on my own example of what that would look like. Is explaining to you right now, I opened up this camera to film this, and I was just like, I'm so insecure. I cannot film this right now. I can't do it. I can't do it. But I'm here anyway. And a whole other video, I'll talk about insecurity and how you show up even when you're like, But me sharing that with you, hopefully, helps you feel more connected to me. Helps you feel more connected to understanding, okay, like she might not feel perfect all the time. She might not feel like being on camera. And I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to bring astrology into this conversation for just a second, but always putting Jesus above astrology. Side note is I have a Leo sun, but I have a Pisces moon, which is a very unique balance to work with. And when it comes down to that, it's like I'll always probably appear to like be very outgoing, very charismatic, very, very sunny. But deep down, there's a lot of insecurity. There's a lot of, I don't want to show up, but I know that I need to. I know that I have this vision. I know that I need to be a leader. I have this purpose to share this wisdom, to share this knowledge, to connect people, to bring wisdom into this space, to raise consciousness, to raise frequency. So I'm going to do it anyway. And me being here and showing you my authentic self and revealing aspects of myself that you wouldn't necessarily always be able to pick up on just from watching me helps you see my humanity, which gives a depth to me and then a deeper depth to the work that I do. Because you know that maybe I feel insecure sometimes, but I'm still going to show up and record the content. Maybe showing your behind the scenes of your business actually looks like showing, like, I woke up this morning and I was stressed out about world events and I was really anxious and it was really hard to start working. Whatever your authentic self is, I want you to show that. I want you to explain that. And I have this thing where I feel like a lot of people think that if you show your struggles or you show more of your reality or more of your truth, people won't see you as a trusted, consistent leader. But I actually think that you showing your truth is going to make the people who you're meant to serve, especially if you focus on higher ticket, feel like they actually want to hire you more. I don't think that breaking that professional barrier of showing up perfectly poised on time, like that's going to work for some people, and that is going to lead 100% to a successful business. But I think that if you're in this conscious business, I think that showing who you are and letting people into the behind the scenes holds more value than showing up perfectly poised all the time. And I'm not going to name names, but it's just coming into mind this one specific, I believe she teaches on wealth, and obviously very successful. I wouldn't buy from her because I feel like I don't know her. I feel like she's teaching things and it's probably so valuable, obviously very successful, helping so many people. But I would want to purchase from somebody who like shares their truth. I would want to invest in a program, especially if it's higher ticket, in somebody that actually like I feel like I know them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would want to feel like I know you from your content, so then I feel that level of safety and trust to then invest what you're offering. And I would then see you as a human instead of just something almost like, I feel like it gives the energy of a celebrity when you don't know anything about them, and then you invest. And for me, that doesn't equate. Like, I wouldn't want to buy a coaching call from Selena Gomez. I'd want to buy a coaching call from someone who shows their authentic self online, and I feel like I know. You don't necessarily always know people just from what they show on social media, but the feeling of recognizing somebody and feeling a sense of relation to them is going to be single-handedly the most important selling point, probably the rest of this year, and honestly, the rest of the decade. Build personal relationships. Let people in, even if it's not showing your whole self, even if it is literally showing like, this is how I feel today. This is my view today. I woke up feeling like this. Later on today, I'm going to go do this. I actually don't know what I'm going to do later on. I think I'm going to sleep early tonight. I feel like I really need to get like a good sleep. You know what I mean? And I feel like when you show these little bits of personality. Actually, you know what? I'm going to link it right here and tell you, okay, we're putting the coffee down for this one because we're going to go deep. It's always like in the 15-minute part where I'm like, you should cut it off because you make your YouTube videos very long, and then it's like we're 15 minutes in and I'm like, but now is where now we're getting into the good stuff. I'm going to tell you a very personal story that I don't share often, but now it's linking into my business, so it's coming out. This is the reason that I think that I was, and why a lot of people had a really strong, almost like die-hard fan of somebody like Taylor Swift. And we're using Taylor Swift because this is the example. And bear with me because I have a really strong point. I'm aware of everything in Hollywood, but I have a very strong point. I used to be a very huge Taylor Swift fan, like ever since I was 9 years old. 26 now for context, so it's like 17 years ago. And I was able to form such a strong connection to Taylor Swift and her music because of the personal connection that I felt like I had with her because of what she did very specifically. So she used to connect with fans on an app called Tumblr. If you don't know what Tumblr is, it's a blog. And honestly, I want a revival of Tumblr because I feel like it is such a good social media app. I feel like a conscious Tumblr would just be like incredible. But back in the day, she had maybe, I think she could only follow 5,000 people, so it was a very small group of us that she would connect with, that she would give us advice as we were going through high school and like our selfies and invite us backstage or invite us on a TV show with her, which was what happened for me. And through these little bits of, remembering being 16, 17, being on this blog with Taylor Swift, that built such a strong relationship that there was almost no way that you wouldn't buy kind of any concert tour she put out or album she put out or merch that she would put out. It formed such a strong bond because you felt like you knew her. Even if you didn't know her, she showed just enough and connected with you just enough to make you feel special to make you feel important and to make you feel like you knew her. Like, I can tell you, because of my own past and history, being within that community, being friends with people who were also in that same experience of having her give them advice in high school and liking our selfies and all of that. The truth of the matter for that is we felt like we knew her enough because we were both people who were just sitting on our phones on Tumblr in the middle of the night. Because it's usually like 3 a.m. And if you were in that crowd, you get it. It was literally always like 3 in the freaking morning for whatever reason. But you felt like you knew her, right? So then when you go to the concerts and she'd recognize you in the audience and she'd give you that smile and she'd point you out. Or for me, she stopped her TIFF speech to say something to me because she recognized me. That little bit of recognition, that little bit of personal relationship, that's the key and ticket, I believe, to selling and creating brand loyalty. Okay? So I share with you that story about myself. I'm obviously no longer like a big Taylor Swift fan. I do not run a Taylor Swift blog anymore. I used to, and it did pay off, as I did get life-changing experiences, and I'm still very grateful for how that changed my life. It actually was the trigger to my spiritual awakening, weirdly enough. Can't talk about my spiritual awakening without linking it to that. It's a crazy story. But I share that with you because feeling like you know somebody, even if you don't know somebody, like none of us actually knew her, but we knew her, right? That little bit. And that's all you need as that business owner, as that Taylor Swift, is to help people see a little bit of you. Do something and be something relatable. I'm even going to go as far to say this. When I did meet her, when I left the room, I accidentally tripped. Which is funny, right? You meet Taylor Swift and then you fall when you're walking out of the room. And instead of judging me, instead of ignoring the situation, she laughed with me and said that was so relatable. That sentence, that's so relatable to doing something like falling. Instead of laughing at somebody, instead of ignoring it, she made you feel seen, valued, and recognized for being clumsy, for being uniquely yourself, and for being authentic. That's what people are missing when it comes to conscious business. That's the driving factor towards a long-term successful brand. I'm talking for the rest of your life and beyond, okay? So I want you to remember and take from this story this one thing. If you want to create brand loyalty, and if you want people to consistently purchase from you, you just need to show a little bit of authenticity, a little bit of relatability. What does the people that are buying you experience? What do they do? And how can you make them feel seen? How can you make them feel important? How can you get the focus off of you for a second and put the focus on them? So I hope that this video really helped you understand how you're going to stand out, how you're going to be somebody that is able to attract an audience that is willing to buy and pay for pretty much whatever you're selling. And this is, of course, for people who are selling things that are supportive of the greater good and evolution of humanity, who are running spiritual businesses, conscious businesses, wellness brands, etc. If you want to dive deeper into these topics, I expand on all things business inside of my business program, which is going to be formally called Spiritual Business Academy. I haven't made the shift yet, but it is changing names, probably the next 5 days. So if you're watching this after 5 days, the name is going to change. I'm not going to reveal it here, but I've been sitting with this name change honestly since whenever the last time I was in Sedona. So probably 1.5 years now. I'm so excited about it. But we talk all things business within this mastermind program. I also offer one-on-one consultations for business, but I specifically use the Akashic Records. So this is where we're able to access your actual highest business blueprint. So what are you supposed to be doing? The business model, business structure, pricing, all things business. So I'll give you the information for that in the description box below. And good luck standing out. If I could give you one little assignment this week, because I'm not the type of person that just creates content for you to just consume, and then do nothing. I want you to watch this video, and then I want you to do this activity and get off your phone. I want you to write down 3 ways that you can show up authentically in your content this week. Just 3 ways. Maybe you record a video, and maybe let's back it up. Maybe at lunch you get a little stain on your shirt. This is something so like me, by the way. Maybe at lunch you get a little stain on your shirt. Why don't you record the video without changing? Why don't you record the video with that little stain and be like, oh my gosh, like, when I was eating lunch today, I had such a good meal, I accidentally stained my shirt, but I want to come here and share this message with you anyway, and then launch into whatever your content's going to be. To some people, that will be cringe. To some people, they'd be like, oh my god, that's so unprofessional. You should show up looking perfect and clean and ideal. But what if your, like, soulmate client had just accidentally, like, stained their shirt the other day? They'd be like, oh my god, so relatable. That's what you want. If that's authentic to you. I'm not saying to go, like, make that scenario happen. But that is just a simple thing or example. Or maybe you show up and, maybe you woke up this morning and you were so anxious about things that were going on in the world. What if in your content you somehow linked in the fact that I woke up this morning really anxious about the world anyway, but I still decided to show up because this message that I have to share with you today just felt that important that despite my own anxiety, I want to bring it to you. Boom. Relatable to anybody that is your dream buyers that maybe woke up with anxiety today. I don't think that you need to be this perfect, polished version of yourself in order to be this very successful leader in business. I think that you need to be your authentic self. I think that you need to be honest, and I think that you need to be vulnerable, which are also my 3 business traits, by the way, and always have been, because I think that is the way that you actually help people see your humanity, which also is going to help you attract more respectful clients, because trust me, you want your clients to see you as a human. Take it from me, because I have some stories. You want to be human, and you want to be seen as human, because then people are going to respect you so much more, and people are going to want to invest more in your programs. Some people, they want to only purchase from somebody that is perfectly polished. They want somebody that's videos are edited perfectly and always looks perfect, always has the most ideal background, all of this stuff. But if you're watching this video and you actually like my content, you probably don't like that. Like the concept of making my content all like perfect and aesthetic and chopped up and edited and having the best background and the highest quality, I just care about getting the message out and showing up and ensuring that my frequency is in the highest possible energy. I want to be as clear of a channel as I possibly can be, and I just want to be able to get the message to you. I don't want to be performative, and that's what a lot of that is. If you don't want fake people, and by fake I mean inauthentic, people to purchase your products, then you need to be authentic. And this is something I always really struggled with in business. If showing up and being this like professional, perfect business owner is hard for you, then don't show up as a perfect professional business owner. It's not who you are. That's an act. That's performative. And I think this is going to keep going. It's so funny. YouTube for me is like, I can't make like a 7-minute video. Like, this is the same thing. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I can't be fake. I can't sit, because I think somebody told me one time that 7 minutes is like the sweet spot for YouTube. This is what, 24 minutes? Half of my videos are like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Once I start talking, I can't stop. And I'm not going to make my videos be a specific length to please an algorithm. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to use a specific trending audio because it's going to support the algorithm. I'm going to use an audio that feels like it demonstrates the purpose for me posting. So make sure you're authentic. And when we come down to this whole kind of like spiritual business and conscious business, I want to be clear that this isn't for people who are new age. I have a strong faith-based background, but I've come from new age. and I feel like there's some middle ground present. So I feel like I'm more for people who are in the middle, who are maybe working on their faith, but aren't like already all fully there. Do you know what I mean? So most people in a spiritual context are gonna feel, and I know you know what I'm talking about, like the perfectly poised, dressed in all white, crystal necklace, like whatever it looks like, aesthetic posts on Instagram that a lot of spiritual business owners try to show, or in like their sessions looking or acting a specific way. Like honestly, like to hell with the fake performative spiritualism. Be your authentic self, even if like that means like doing things that are different, like wear a cross necklace and talk about spirituality. Do what is authentic to you. Also, there's a whole topic on New Age that we could talk about, but that's for another day. Do and be your authentic self, okay? Don't think that you need, especially if you're new to spiritual business, do not try to copy anybody. Don't think that you need to be in this perfect white outfit and show up with this big crystal necklace and start your videos like this and put on a show, because in 95% of the time, I'm going to be very blunt and honest with you, most spiritual business owners are performing. It's the sad truth. I remember somebody sharing about how they like lost their whole identity because they lost their spiritual clothes. The second that spiritual clothes are involved, that means your spirituality has become a costume. And that's a topic for another day. But when I seen that, that was for me on that specific individual, just like the confirmation of like, oh wow, yeah, that person is very performative in their spirituality. And that's why when I see like a retreat and everyone's wearing white and it's all this like perfect, pristine looking type of thing, that's to me like the biggest red flag of New Age spiritual performatism. I want to see you wearing a regular person's clothes. I don't want you to dress up to try to cosplay somebody else. I want you. I want you to be real. Like, I'm not going to go buy from anybody who's putting on a role. If I can sense or smell a little bit of fake spirituality, I'm out, especially when it comes to spiritual services. I'm going to tell you right now, 99% of spiritual business owners shouldn't be in the field. And so there's a huge in-demand market right now for authentic, genuine, embodied spiritual leaders, teachers, and healers. And I know if you're still watching this video, maybe you're one of them, right? And so I want you to keep that in mind, that those people that are always going to profit, false prophets still profit, but the authentic one is going to be the one that gets that eternal prosperity. It's not going to be, I think that there's good money and bad money. The good money is going to come from you being authentic, okay? So if you are maybe more new to the spiritual business world, do not think that you need to look spiritual to sell. Like, more now, people want you to be human. They want you to be normal. They want you to show up. That's what they want. They want you to show up. They want you to show who you are. They want you to tell a joke. They want you to tell them about your day and help them feel seen. Don't put on this act because you think that it's going to make you more popular or more successful. When it comes to business and when it comes to running a business that's in alignment with your highest purpose and God, it needs to be authentic. It needs to be personal. It needs to be deep. And that's what makes you rich. You are rich the more authentic you are, because you're going to find people who are attracted to the authentic frequency that you are emitting, okay? And these are the people who are always going to support your business because they feel a relationship and real connection to you. You can't get an authentic connection with somebody who's acting. You can't have an authentic relationship with somebody who isn't being real, who's performing. You can feel like you want to be them. You can feel jealous of them. You can feel like you want their success. But you're not going to actually feel this deep, like, oh, I really want to invest $10K in working with you. just because of that. Maybe some people will, but for me, people will invest $10,000 into something that I offer, first of all, because they know that I'm skilled enough to do it, but second of all, because they feel my human. They can feel who I am. They feel my energy. They feel the authenticity. Now, if I were to hide that up and bottle it up and wear all white and be like, now, in today's video, we are going to be talking about, like, that, no, like, nobody wants to buy that. I don't want to buy performing. I want to buy, okay, guys, let's chat. I'm drinking my coffee. I'm looking at the river. I got something to say. Like, authenticity is your highest selling point, and that's how you're going to stand out on social media, especially in the world of artificial intelligence. Be human, because that is going to be what helps you serve humanity the most. Once again, if you do want to inquire about my services, they will be in the description box below. And if you enjoy this video, make sure you're subscribed. I'm trying to show up and post on YouTube every day, or at least a lot more, and just really be able to provide education outside of a 90-second reel, because I feel like I can't be authentic on Instagram at all. That is such like a limited capacity app. Okay, I will see you in the next one.